777, aka Diz, and this is The Force Always.
Okay, welcome to the Star Wars show once again, The Force Always. Let's get straight into the news. Star Wars Celebration is now approaching 120 days to go. That's right, 120 days to go to Star Wars Celebration Chicago 2019. All I can just say, stick to this channel. I will bring you anything and everything I can before and at the actual event. So check that one out, Star Wars Celebration Chicago, The Force Always, just to let you know. And it's 120 days roughly to go. Can you believe it? It's fastly approaching. To more news, Star Wars Celebration is actually almost sold out. Almost sold out. That's including all the days. That's right, Star Wars Celebration Chicago 2019 is almost sold out. If you're going to get anything now, you're going to have to be getting the last of the tickets. So just go to the site and just get your tickets. To more news, a book has been announced for next year. Thrawn Treason. That's right, Thrawn was one of the characters that we sort of got to see technically in the Rebels animation, in a canon sort of way. Thrawn, he's got a blue face, he's sort of very subtle but strong type of character. Very good character, personally. I'm sorry, I'm not really into the blue face, but still, he's a very good character. I like the idea. Thrawn Treason, the cover, if anything, is amazing. Yeah, check that one out. Thrawn Treason will be coming out 2019. The story is actually set during the period of what we got with the last season of Rebels, season 4. Speaking of Rebels season 4, just to let you all know, worldwide, in Australia, we finally got the Rebels season 4 final season on DVD Blu-ray. It's amazing. Just to let you know, I just thought that's some more news. So pretty much that's the news for this time around. Let's get into the views. Now, views is going to be, it's actually about not predictions, not the amount of views that a channel gets. It's actually about my story ideas. This is sort of a story idea that's out there. Now, we're all hearing that Star Wars Episode 9 is going to have this big sort of all together, with all the episodes together coming as one in a final conclusion sort of thing. That's what we're hearing. We're hearing, from episode 1 to episode 8, everything comes together and there's a sort of conclusion, a big sort of finale. What I think out of this, the fans have got a bit of taste of this, and they're sort of expecting this, and being a last part of an episode, the third part in this trilogy, I actually think it needs to be this. If the writers and producers and directors and all this with the episode 9 have not done this, I think it's going to be perceived badly. Now, episode 8 to me was good, but to a lot of fans it was divided. But I can see why it was divided, because there was a lot of emptiness in episode 8. It didn't really lead you into, what's going to happen with this person or this thing in episode 9. That's sort of my sort of thing, problem with it. But I still accept episode 8 for what it is, The Last Jedi. But I think episode 9 needs this finale. It needs to bring in characters like from the original Anakin Skywalker. If they're going to do something with Mace Windu, if that's ever a thing, there's always talk about that guy, Samuel Jackson, one of the greatest actors. If they're going to bring Palpatine, Emperor Palpatine, which is a fantastic idea. It's a bit obvious, but I think it's a great idea. They need to do it in episode 9, and I think the expectation from the fans is pretty high. So I am in agreement that it needs to be a big finale. It needs to be just an epic conclusion. Personally, it needs to come off with the epic sort of feel, not the same story, the epic feel like Return of the King, Lord of the Rings. I'm not a massive Lord of the Rings fan. I love it, but I'm not massive on it. But Return of the King was a great finale, personally. But that's so that's my views this week, this time around. It's just something that's out there already, but I just thought I'd extend on my thoughts. Reviews. Let's get into reviews this time around. Star Wars Kids is a new YouTube channel. You can possibly get it in other outlets, I'm unsure, but Star Wars Kids. It's sort of shorts that I've seen. It's little animation shorts with a similar style of animation to the Resistance animation, but of scenes that we've already seen in the movies before. Now, it's an unusual review because the very first episode, first insert I'll concentrate on, I thought was actually, it's one of the best scenes ever in Star Wars. It's the scene where Darth Vader comes out and rocks the lightsaber towards the end and just rips it up. My review on that particular scene is like a 9 out of 10. But as a cartoon for a kid, especially calling it Star Wars Kids, I think this is a really unusually bad choice. This cartoon is almost directed to very young kids, and I don't know, the responsibility for kids is just a little bit unusual. Don't get me wrong, I love the scene. I think it's great, but it's just a bit too intense for kids. So for kids itself, I'd say 1 out of 10. I'd even sort of think not to show this to kids if I had kids. Don't as yet, but anyway. I just think it's just too intense. It was great as a reminiscent sort of scene that we've seen before. I think it's a little bit of a waste of time when you just keep rehashing stuff that we've seen, but it's a great scene. So it's an unusual review. As a scene in itself, it's a 9 out of 10. But for kids, on Star Wars Kids, the YouTube channel, I'll give it about a 1 out of 10. That's my reviews this time around. Let's get into the interviews. 2Q, that's 2 questions we'll ask myself for you guys out there. Now, we know that Star Wars Celebration is fastly approaching. What should you bring to Star Wars Celebration Chicago 2019? I'd really think about the weather. That's one, the weather. But I'd also suggest highly. Now, when I was there last time, I just bought a little square pillow this big. And I survived with that little thing for 2 long 19-hour queues. That's right, 19-hour queues. That's going to be almost short this time around because this event is almost sold out. So I'd be just looking at 20 plus. But I'd bring something that is of a pillow and blanket form that you can lie on, because you will be on concrete waiting in line for at least 19 hours that I know of. So get something that's going to really push inside that backpack or whatever it is, because I think it's a backpack you can bring, but you've got to be and get that checked. You got to so a blanket and a good pillow that's going to last you. Even if it's some sort of long pillow, you can really squash in there. That's my high suggestion, because you will be waiting in that line a long time. Star Wars Celebration Chicago 2019, bring a big pillow that's almost like a little mattress. Even if it's one of those blow-up ones. That's my suggestion. Unless they ban it, I don't know. But that's what I suggest. To Star Wars Celebration Chicago 2019, what not to bring. You don't need to actually bring food. I know it's a long wait, these queues, if you're going to go to the big panels. You don't need to bring food. You just have to sort of come to the understanding that you can get food at the event in little sort of setups that they have there, little caravans or little hot dog stands or whatever. It's bad food, not the best for you, but it's just food to get you by. You don't need to bring food. Adding to the food will cause complications going through security. I think that would just be a bit of a mistake. You have to leave things behind, be wasting money on the food, and That's right. You just don't need to bring food. Just deal with, sort of really bad junk food at the event. Okay. My other suggestion is that make good friends in the line, so your line number is kept, your position is kept, because then you can go to the toilet back and forth. That's pretty easy. When you're in line waiting, the people around you, if they're really good people, I'm sure they are, will help you just go to the toilet back and forth. That's my suggestion. That's my second question. What should you not bring is, don't bring food, and don't worry about the toilet thing. Make friends with people on the line. Anyway, so that's the Star Wars news, views, reviews, and interviews for this time around. Please subscribe to the channel, like and share this. It's only on YouTube, The Force Always. I'm here on a weekly basis. And until next time, keep rocking from hot down under. And believe me, it's hot at the moment. It's 35 degrees in Melbourne, which is good. We're going into our summer. But anyway, as I said, you heard it.